On this episode of Tropical Fish Store Tours,
I'm at Treasures of the Sea in Riverside, California.
I'm Jacob Castro, otherwise known as Jacob's Aquarium on YouTube. I'm a Planet Tank geek that loves the aquarium hobby, and I'm on a mission to find America's greatest tropical fish stores. With so many to choose from and online reviews being as unreliable as they are, you can count on me to show you the best stores with the most to offer. Welcome to another episode of Tropical Fish Store Tours here on Jacob's Aquarium.
Okay, my name's Chad Lewis. I'm the owner of Treasures of the Sea. We've been around for about 13 years now. I've owned it for 3. Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so the store's been here originally for 13 years, so you're the second owner?
Yep.
Okay, so do you know anything about the first owner, how he got started, like how the store originated in Riverside?
To be honest with you, I don't know how they got started. I think they probably were just hobbyists like me. Got tired of not having the proper store around, so they decided to go and start one that they felt was the best. I kind of did the same thing when I purchased this one. I was going to start one, found this one, and kind of went from there, built it up, made improvements that I felt were needed here, and it's grown into this.
Yeah, surprisingly, that seems like a really common thing. Like most hobbyists, they do get into the business because they either, like you said, there's not a store in the area or whatever. So yeah, I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about the fish that you guys have here at the store, like your selection of saltwater fish.
We're predominantly saltwater. We have a little bit of fresh, but we do definitely specialize in salt. We do a lot of maintenance and specialize in reef, especially.
Yeah. So this is a beautiful tank.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how many different corals are in here?
That'd be a hard question to answer. Well over 100.
Wow.
Stink's been running for the 3 years that I've owned the store.
So this is only 3 years old.
3 years old.
Oh my gosh. It looks like it's much older than that.
Yeah, we've got it dialed in really nicely. Running radions on it. Try to keep good circulation with the MP40s. And it's a good dialed in tank.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you predominantly have more saltwater fish here, but are you guys getting more into freshwater because the Planet Tank hobby is like really taking off? Yeah.
Mines are really slow right now. I'm trying to build that end of the hobby up a little bit over here too, but it's hard to put money into that side of the store when it's just not going back out as easily as it's coming in.
Exactly. You need to build up a community of Planet Tank enthusiasts here first before you can notice anything.
To justify that kind of space for sure.
Exactly.
It's
So
not as easy as you think sometimes too. I was kind of caught off guard by that.
yeah. I mean, surprisingly, just like with saltwater tanks, it does take a lot of knowledge on how to dial everything in, like you said with this one with Planet Tanks.
I was surprised at how similar they are, even though they're completely different ecosystems.
Exactly. Yeah. So as far as the saltwater fish, any rare, exotic, super exotic species, or is it just I think they call it bread and butter species or whatever?
I keep bread and butter, especially. Obviously, it's bread and butter for a reason, but I do definitely carry some high-end stuff. I've got a big show-size silhole tank back there, an African black Balton lion. So there's some extra special fish too, but a lot of bread and butter stuff, purple tanks.
Okay, so tell us, now that we talked about the store, tell us how you got started in the hobby.
I got started in the hobby 20-something years ago. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good, how are you?
Back when I was 20, started with my little freshwater tank. It was 55 gallons, had tiger barbs in it. Went to the store a couple days later after putting the first fish in. They had saltwater, kind of like this place does. Kept looking over my shoulder, and looking at the saltwater. And I think in the first 2 weeks of having that tank, I switched over to saltwater. And it's just been building ever since then.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool. So do you notice that there's a big aquarium hobbyist community out here in Riverside?
It's moderate. I would love to see it grow with all the restrictions on importation and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's really played a role in kind of diminishing the popularity of the hobby. We've got shows like Tanked and stuff that are kind of helping that out. A second Nemo movie coming out, so hopefully that'll really spark a new interest.
I'm looking forward to that. So are my little cousins. We're looking forward to seeing Nemo and Dory again.
Yeah, Finding Dory, I think is what they're calling that one. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it should be a good movie. So you guys are also you're a retail store, but you also have a maintenance company. So tell us about the maintenance company, how far you guys go to service a tank and stuff like that.
We've been doing maintenance for the last 3 years that we've been in the store too. Building that up a lot because that's kind of what keeps these stores afloat.
Right.
Without maintenance, these stores just can't exist because
Right.
the internet's driving everything apart. But we'll travel 30 miles out radius outside the store. I live in Temecula, which is kind of a distance from here, so I can do or houses all the way out there too.
Okay. And if somebody wanted to set up a service account with the store, how would they do that?
Just give us a call at the store. I'm the owner, so I'm here every day of the week except for Monday when we're closed. And I can usually give you a pretty reasonable quote right over the phone, but sometimes it might change a little bit by seeing what you've got.
So pretty cool. So if you need somebody to service your tank, you have a saltwater tank that you don't want to spend the time to maintain because it is a lot of work, just give Chad a call and he can definitely help you out with the service company.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for telling us about the store. And now I think it's time to take a look and show everybody your store here in Riverside.
Beautiful. Sounds good.
Thanks, Chad.
Thanks.
All right, Chad. So show us the fish that you guys have here.
All right, we've got a lot of your reef fish here. We've got powder brown tang, orange shoulder tang,
Beautiful.
some really pretty orange anthias, compinis, some high-end clowns you were asking about, some unstaple fish. So these are Aura snowflake clowns, really catching on popularity.
Okay.
Designer clownfish.
So they're designers, so that means they're bred for that color pattern or
Pattern for sure.
coloration?
Yeah,
Okay.
so instead of just having that regular band, these guys have got some blue in there with some polka dots. Breaks it
Wow.
up, gives them a really special look.
Okay, cool. You got some more saltwater stuff down here?
Yeah, so got some copper band butterfly, crayon angel, your black clowns from Aura. So you can see how the color pattern's kind of different there.
Are those pretty much rare too, like those clownfish? or-
No, they're a little bit more bread and butter.
Okay.
The black clowns are a little bit more than the regular orange Aussies there.
Okay.
But again, we've got the copper band butterflies in there. Mauiceps tang, purple tang, a blue hippo, flame angel. So we try to do a lot of reef safe fish here. We do primarily reefs.
Very cool. For all these tanks, are you doing like a wet dry filtration system?
On most of them, it's just, your
Oh, okay.
standard. I kind of cut out the bio ball section and put a sock in there, protein skimmer.
Okay.
Each system, I keep them small, so that each 3 of these tanks are on a system. So
Okay.
my whole store's not one big system, helping with disease outbreak and stuff.
Right. You definitely want to have things separated in case something breaks out, so not everything gets affected for sure. Yeah. So I got some little tanks up here.
Yeah,
They're
it's
pretty cool
kinda-
fish.
Yeah, step outside of the reef here, and we got a little clown trigger, some striped puffers, huma trigger, Hawaii state fish there.
Oh.
A lot of people get a kick out of these guys. Call
Yeah,
them goby.
that's interesting. So that fish, if I remember correctly, that sifts through the sand to get out algae and stuff like that, right?
Absolutely, it helps prevent it from starting. So he's always sifting the sand, taking nutrients out of the sand, so you don't get algae problems in the first place.
That's really cool. So definitely a fish be really helpful to your tank for
Very
sure. Something you really want to get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't run hardly any of my tanks without some sort of sand sifting goby.
Yeah. And I see in this tank you have that's the flame angel, right? That red one, with the black stripes right up there.
Oh, the one buried down in the rock there?
Oh no, the one I think he's hiding from us. The one in the corner. Yeah.
That is a flame angel.
Yeah,
there.
that's my favorite saltwater fish.
That's a beautiful fish.
Yeah, I love that one. So what do we got in here? What
We
fish?
got a powder blue, a Desjardini sailfin, a Nassau tang, and then that little guy hiding down there is a harlequin tusk.
Harlequin. Wow.
A really cool fish.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
As they get older, they get nice big blue fangs. Really nice looking fish.
That's the number one thing I like about the saltwater hobby. It's just the fish. There's so many different colors. You know, that's something you definitely miss in the freshwater hobby for sure.
There's some nice looking fish in freshwater though.
Oh yeah, like
See some
cichlids and
really
stuff. Yeah,
Some really nice killies too.
yeah. So we got a lionfish in here too.
Yeah, they got
That's cool.
Black line there, pink tail trigger. Fish you don't see all the time, but it is kind of a common fish is the reef cat. It's
Oh,
hiding
cool.
behind the rock there. And a blue-faced angel.
Really
Very
nice.
pretty fish there. Unfortunately, you can't go in the reef, but
I love the colors on that angelfish that you were talking about. That
very,
blue.
very
Yeah.
pretty fish. Just got him the other day, so he's a little shy right now.
So we got some. These are cardinal fish, right?
These are
Or
blue-green
oh,
chromies.
Chromas, yeah, chromies. Yeah.
These are the fish I like to have my customers start their tanks with because they don't get extremely aggressive like a damselfish does.
Right.
So,
So
there's-
So that they're like the best starter fish for a saltwater tank.
if you're going to cycle your tank with fish, they're probably my favorite way to do it.
Okay.
They're not very expensive, and they're pretty much hardy like a damselfish is.
Okay.
And then once the tank's done cycling, you can leave them in there and not have to take your rocks out trying to catch the damsels like you would if you started with like a a blue damsel or a domino or something like that.
That's cool. And you got a cleaner shrimp in there too, Heidi.
Absolutely, you always have to have one of those in there too. Help keep disease as minimal as you can.
Right. And then another sand sifter. I love those fish. They're so cool.
Yeah, those work really well in like a nano tank because they're a lot smaller scale.
Right.
Diamond
Right.
gobies can get rather large.
Right. Okay. So up here are these are your invertebrates up
Yeah,
here?
these are just part of my cleanup crew, so we do a lot of like your peppermint shrimp, which eat aptasia. We got your hermit crabs. We keep a couple of the starfish that'll eat corals up here too.
Oh, cool. What kind of starfish is this?
Chocolate chip star.
Oh wow. That's really cool. Okay, and then down here we got some. Are these? I'm not really familiar with saltwater, but is that a coral or an anemone or?
It's a type of Gorgonian.
Okay.
It looks similar to another coral, which is called star polyps, but it's actually an encrusting like a star polyp. But it shoots out little branches that you can see. And it
It's so neat.
gets some good
Over there too.
depth to the tank.
Okay, cool. All right, and then down here, I guess this would be all the corals and stuff.
Yeah, this is where we step into our coral frags.
Wow, this is really neat.
This is where it gets really addicting. I love fish, but corals, it's always like trying to find that one rare thing that nobody else has, so you're
Right.
just always on the search.
It's absolutely gorgeous. So tell us about, like, starting from this side, to what corals we're looking at over here.
Okay, we got a big array of corals, to be perfectly honest with you. We got more Gorgonian, some nice Recordias, some of the green star polyps like I was telling you about, some zoanthids and some candy cane coral,
Oh, cool.
some SPS digitata, Montipolar capricornus.
Well, they're really good, and they look so healthy and so vibrant. I mean, they just look like they would make a great addition to a saltwater tank, for
Well,
sure.
it's fun, just like you said with plants. I mean, I don't know what it is within us that's so captivating about growing something,
Yeah.
taking care of it and watching it grow.
Especially with the frag corals, it's like they start so small, and then when they grow over time, it's incredible. Like, I'm sure this started small, right?
Yeah.
And it got to, is that a hammerhead coral?
It is, good job.
Wow, yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, see, that's the thing I like about corals. It's just like, I know with plants, like when they get big, they look cool too, but something about corals when they grow to like a large size and they take over, it looks fascinating to me, honestly. So, what coral is this right here?
That's a type of zinnia.
Okay.
It's not your common zinnia that kind of spreads everywhere. It's more of a stocky kind.
That's cool.
So a lot of
It
your
looks like a
zinnia
little
spreads in
underwater
the
tree.
tank. Yeah, it really does, right?
That's cool. Now, tell us about the lighting that you use for these tanks. Are these LEDs or?
These are metal halide that we
Okay.
got here. Kind of on their way out. It's a good tried and true, great way to grow coral, but they run extremely hot.
Right,
Use a
I've
lot
heard
of
that.
power.
Yeah.
Usually I have to run a chiller with them. I'm running my fan, but I try to keep it representative of what customers will have in their home. A lot of places will just blast everything with blues and make things look
Right.
crazy, but most people don't run their tank blue. So I try to run metal halides so they can see if they have metal halides. T5s on that tank so they're getting true representation of what they would get at home.
Okay.
And then I do have the LEDs up front on the show tank and on the frag tank that's plumbed into it.
Really cool. Okay, and then up here you guys have these are all filters, like
These are
wet dry
your-
filters.
Your sumps with refugiums. I've got pretty much any size you would need. Acrylic glass,
Cool.
larger sizes for bigger tanks, smaller sizes for nano tanks.
Yeah, so a pretty good selection of all different types.
With the internet, I try to keep as much stuff in stock as I can,
Yeah.
just because if I tell somebody I can have it here on Thursday, they're like, buy it online and get it here Thursday. So
Yeah.
I tie a lot of dollars up into my inventory.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's the best thing to do. Down here, so this is the filtration system for this tank individually?
three.
For these three, okay. So would this be considered a refugium?
Yeah. So
Okay.
this might be a little more up your alley because
Yeah.
this is kind of a little over exaggerated from what we would normally probably run on this size of the tank. But I wanted it big so that I could show people what was actually going on in there, because what you've got going on is water's up here, flows into the overflow box, comes down, gets filtered by the filter sock, then goes out of there after it catches the bigger particulate, skimmed by the skimmer. Then it's allowed to slowly flow through some plants that are going to pull the
And
nutrients
then the
out of
the
water.
plants act as like a natural filter. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And a refuge for all the little bugs that live in your tank, so they can live in there and regenerate and get thrown back up into the tank. A lot of times I'll take a rock out of here and I'll stick it up here and rotate rocks that I'm bringing life up to here.
Oh.
And then basically in that last chamber there, it just shoots the water back up, so that's continuously happening, and you have a very stable tank.
That's really cool. So like, would you say refugium is a great way to add a natural way of filtration, I guess?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
And it becomes a food source for your tanks.
Oh, it does. Oh, okay.
Starts overgrowing, you pull some out, you feed it to your tank.
Oh, so the fish can eat the plants too?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. That they probably bring cost down of food
Yeah,
a little bit. Okay, cool. So got over this section. So we move over here, and we see some more saltwater stuff. Would this be all the live rock that you guys offer?
Live rock for sale for sure.
Okay.
Bigger pieces, branch pieces,
Really cool.
staple of your tank filtration.
Cool. And we got some seahorses up here.
Yeah, these are some little projects I've been starting over the last couple of months. I'm trying to breed these guys. So I'm trying to give them a
Wow.
really nice environment, and it's only been going for about 2 months now. But
Really cool. So what kind of seahorses are these?
they're Oracudas.
Okay. And are these the ones, because I've heard some seahorses, like, is it typical with all seahorses that the male actually gets pregnant too?
Yep. But he carries the babies.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah,
So you're trying to breed these, you said?
I'm trying.
Wow.
Not necessarily for monetary reasons, but just to make things interesting. I mean,
Yeah,
I've been doing
just
this for a
to
long
do it.
time, and I've never done it, so kind of got that. And then to raise the food for their babies, I figured I might as well try to raise some clowns too. So I got clowns started over there.
Oh, so you got some clownfish that you're trying to breed as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Haven't
And
been
are
successful
these
yet.
maroon clownfish?
No, these are actually a mocha that went
Oh.
black on me. I mean, they're really nice looking.
Yeah, I agree.
And then those are some mollies I've converted over to saltwater. They're at
Oh,
full
that's
1.023.
saltwater? Oh my gosh, wow. That is so cool. So mollies can live in fresh saltwater too?
Yeah. They're a
Wow.
brackish.
Oh,
fish.
brackish, that's right.
So I've just taken it another step and converted them all the way over to 1.023.
Wow.
They've actually been having babies for me, and that I didn't expect that.
And the 1.023, that's the salinity?
Salinity,
Right? Okay,
yep.
okay. Cool.
Purpose of that is I have a lot of angler fish. Unfortunately, I don't today, but some of them can be rather small, so I'll take them out of there. And a lot of people might not like this, but you
Yeah.
feed them to the anglers. So
Yeah, that's so cool. It looks like a really fun project. I'd like to do something like that too. Yeah, so, okay, down here, more saltwater fish. Oh, what
yeah.
kind of fish is that right
that's
there?
a copper band butterfly.
Oh, wow.
Very pretty
Love the
fish.
color.
Has some good functionality because there's a pest in our tanks called aptasia, and they're pretty good about eating those.
Wow. So they're kind of like, they play a role as like a cleaner fish as well?
As well, yeah.
Oh, okay. And then more seahorses up here?
More seahorses, yeah. The ones up in my cube aren't for sale, but these guys always are. They're Ora as well.
Wow, those are so cool. I love seahorses. That's such interesting fish.
Yeah, they're tank raised. That's why I like Ora. They raise everything, so we don't have very much impact on the ocean.
Really cool. So what kind of fish we got in here? Pretty much the same thing as the other ones?
Yeah, we got the blonde naso this time, and a
Okay.
lieutenant tang, and then we got the fox face and some more blue-green chromis.
Really cool. Okay, and as we move down, we kind of get close to the freshwater section, but what do we got in here?
A
These
larger
things?
naso, a small powder blue and a small yellow tang.
Yeah, that's a big guy.
Yeah. He's not full grown yet. They get rather big.
Oh, they get
too.
bigger than that.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
He pushes a foot easy or more.
Wow. And then some clownfish up here.
Some more clownfish.
Really cool. All right, so that's
I don't
pretty
know if
much
he'll let you
the
photograph him, but that's a really nice deep water. It's called a Barbonius anthias.
over here.
That last cube there.
Okay,
It's
the last
kind of
cube.
A rarity there.
That's
Fish
really
like
cool.
that costs about $240. So
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. All right, so that's the saltwater portion of the store. We'll get into the show tank in a little bit. So this is the freshwater section over here then.
Freshwater.
Tell us about what kind of fish you got over here.
I kind of keep a pretty staple bread and butter type of freshwater section. we do specialize in salt, but I've got some bala sharks and Jack Dempsey. I try to stay away from some of that more aggressive stuff. Some breeding pair of jewel cichlids that keep having babies for me.
Well, that's good. Definitely helps keep your stock up, huh?
Really. You know, your angelfish and your mollies and some other live bears down there with them.
Okay. So yeah, these fish I'm seeing are actually pretty good for planted tanks too. So for people that have planted aquariums, definitely like the angelfish for sure. Those look good in planted tanks. So be of an interest to them. So over here, would you say this is your selection of plants so far you got going?
It's obviously in transition.
Oh, yeah.
That's hence I was trying to get it cleaned up, at least looking as good as I could for you. But I'm getting ready to put a 55 here, so I was allowing my plant selection to get pretty low.
Oh, cool. Well, we'll definitely have to come back and see the 55 when it
Sure,
gets up. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. This looks like a pretty cool tank. What kind of substrate are you using in here?
This is the sea chem fluorite.
Okay.
Again, I wasn't very experienced with the plants, but this was my first attempt at a planted freshwater tank. This tank's only been going for about a month now, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, the fluoride I've heard is really good because it has a lot of iron and different nutrients in it, so I think that'll definitely help the plants.
I really like the look of it.
Yeah, the driftwood definitely it adds like a natural look to the tank, and the Anubias plant right there too. That I love those plants. That's like one of my favorite as well. Yeah, really cool tank. I'm sure once it grows in, it'll look fantastic.
That was a fun one to experiment with and get my feet wet with it. And as I learn, my customers are learning, and
Yeah.
it's kind of fun to learn with your customers. Sometimes you don't always have to be the expert at everything. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, the planted tank hobby, is really taken off. I think it's a great decision to add an aquatic plant section to your store.
For sure.
Yeah, because there's so many people on YouTube I've seen, and people that come to stores. They're always looking for plants. So yeah, it's definitely exploding.
Plants too.
Yeah.
Some crazy looking stuff.
Yeah. And what's this guy up here? An iguana? Right?
Yeah. I gotta throw a.
It's definitely not a
random
fish.
thing. Yeah, definitely not. That's my wife doesn't like me having lizards at home, so she allowed me to have one at the store.
That's
It's
really
just a
cool.
store pet, really.
Wow. Okay, so kind of back over to the saltwater. We got some frags over here.
Yes, sir.
These are really cool. How much do these frags go for over here?
These can go between $20 to $50.
It's not too bad. Okay.
This tank I just set up in the last 2 weeks, so it's pretty much brand new as well. I took advantage of this tank and I plumbed it into it.
Oh.
So this water is actually being shared with this water.
Oh, that's okay. Well, that's convenient.
Yeah. It's one less tank I have to worry about the calcium and alkalinity on, all that kind of stuff,
Right. And that frag tank is really cool. Like, I know it's just a display tank to sell frags, but I would just like to keep it like that for myself.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's hard not to take stuff home.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. So, are these LED lights?
These are the LEDs we were talking about, yeah.
Okay.
These are the Ecotech Radion.
Ecotech. Okay.
They've been doing really well for me. They're spendy, but they're worth the money.
Right.
You can do the same with T5s or metal halides, though.
Right. And then the LEDs, they typically last a lot longer than the T5s, right?
Sure.
Too.
Yeah. About 10 to 15 years is what they're quoting on them, to where
Oh
on
my
like
gosh.
a T5 you have to replace those bulbs about every 8 months to a year. So,
Yeah, I've heard that. That's
so they
crazy.
pay for themselves after time.
Definitely. Wow. Well, last but not least, tell us about this tank, because when I walked in and I saw this, I was just blown away. So I know people watching right now are going to be like, "Wow," So tell us what we're looking at, like fish, corals.
Fish, corals. This tank's been going for about 3 years. It's a constant work in progress. Never happy. You're always breaking something off and changing something here and there. But fish-wise, I don't overpopulate too much because nutrients are bad for the corals.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have some sizable fish, which throws a lot of people off. They can't believe I got going on what I do. But we've got the blonde Nassau, which we saw in some of the other tanks, the Dust Jardini, and the Lieutenant Tang.
Okay.
Some of the orange anthias that we saw in the first tank. I like the orange anthias because they kind of balance everything out. So you got your bigger tangs and your orange anthias.
You got some small fish to just tie everything in.
Yeah, it's just
Wow.
a lot of the smaller fish. It's kind of, you'll see them randomly.
That is so cool. And then you got a bunch of little frags going here at the bottom.
Yeah, before I got that frag tank going, I had a lot of frags in here, and I was trying to clear this up and turn it back into my show tank because it was getting too distracting.
Right.
Yeah. But, it's been fun. There's a lot of really fun corals in here. We've got the frog spawn there. a mummy eye chalice, some candy canes,
Incredible.
cat's eyes zoanthids, Donkin corals, Miami hurricane chalice, some frags of a mummy eye there.
Wow. So this looks like is it a 200 gallon tank or
It's
300?
actually a receiving tank. It's only 125.
Really?
Yeah.
It looks so much bigger than that.
Well, the way we did the rocks in this tank, we don't have very much contact with the bottom, so we used a lot of branch rock and then kind of filled in with bigger rock on top,
Oh.
which gives it this odd depth, which makes it appear bigger than it really is.
Yeah, because when I walked in, I'm like, wow, that's a big tank. But now that you say 125, it's like it definitely, like the way that you put everything in here, it makes it look so much bigger.
Yeah,
Crazy.
depth is really big on tanks. That's why a lot of people are going with those big cubes now, going 3 feet deep with tanks even.
Right.
So you get dimension big time.
All right. And then as far as filtration, we got a wet dry on here too.
This is what really throws a lot of people off in this tank because they see this and they expect extravagance.
It's like a
down here.
massive filtration system.
I got a tiny sump, not even a refugium.
Oh wow.
I believe in less water going through the sump and more circulation up top. So I've got my filter sock like I showed you there, protein skimmer, some biomedia down there, and then just get shot right back up again. But in the tank itself, we do have MP40s.
Okay.
They're drawing the water. They pump over 1,000 gallons an hour. And then at the other end there, we have a gyre. It's a new pump that just came out in the last 6-8 months.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw that online. So that's how does that move the water differently than a normal power head?
So your normal power head is drawing it from around the surface of that where the blades are spinning and spitting it out in a straight stream usually. Except for the MP40s kind of spread it out more than more of your other ones.
Right.
But these have the bar, so they're actually drawing it from underneath. And then if you can see the surface agitation that it creates on top, so it's squirting across the top, hits over here and banks back, and so it's really creating an undertow basically.
Everything is just moving.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And then you got the same LEDs on this as that one, the EcoTouch, right?
The Ecotech Radions. I really like them because they do everything for you. You program them once and they start off the day at bluish green, start looking like this throughout the day, and taper back off into the evening, then turn off at night. They actually wirelessly talk to the pumps and tell the pumps that it's nighttime.
Oh, really? So like everything's tied in together to
Yeah,
do
like nature.
different functions?
Yeah. You can even program a thunderstorm into it.
A thunderstorm.
Say there's 10% chance of a storm. It'll simulate clouds coming in and actually have lightning strikes.
That definitely adds a natural thing. That's really cool. That's really cool. Well, thank you so much for showing us the store. Tell us where people can find you here in Riverside.
We're at 2955 Van Buren Boulevard, Suite H3, Riverside, California. Our phone number is 951-352-2756. Come see us. We can get you the reef of your dreams.
And then, as you said, if people want to set up a maintenance account, they just give you guys a call as well,
Absolutely.
right?
Same number there. And in closing, I would like to thank Jacob for coming in and doing the tour with us. Any viewers of the video, come on in. We'll offer you 25% if you mention the video.
All right, well, really cool. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.